Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining today's Inspire podcast. This is going to be a little different. It's the first podcast of its kind that we've ever done here at Integrity. And we have a lot of our incredible Medicare-related partners in the office today. And we wanted just to bring everybody together and share some experiences that we've been having and some of the work that you guys have been doing. We've got Ryan Kimball, who's stepped up in such a big way. And really part of the message we've really kind of been communicating for everybody this year is how do we all do just a little bit more? We had Andy Albright on, and Andy was like, what if we all did just a little bit more? Sean Mike was on the other day, and Sean's like, we all just need to work harder. Sean was also in the office today, and he was just like, how can I do more? And I'm like, you guys are crushing it. It's really exciting, and you certainly did that as we were talking about how can we provide additional leadership, and you stepping up has been a huge part of that. So first of all, thank you. And then all of you, we all go way back, and every one of you have said, how do we step up and do more and come here, get together and start collaborating on different ideas. So we got a lot of different partners here. We've never done a group Inspire, so we're going to see how this goes, and we're excited about that. So Tim, you want to kick us off, man?
Sure. Thanks, Brian. Thanks for the opportunity to be on the Inspire podcast. What an honor. My name is Tim Shook with Cornerstone Senior Marketing. We're based out of Columbus, Ohio. We've been with Integrity. We joined in July of 2018, so we've been with Integrity for quite some time, and it's just been an absolute blast, and it's been awesome for us. Couldn't ask for anything better. Fun fact about us, or about me, is I'm a diehard Buckeye fan. OH.
Oh, that's awesome. You guys have done well.
Yeah. Karen Fredericks with Multi-State Insurance out of Michigan, and I will be a partner for 4 years this month.
That's awesome.
And we love it. Yeah, I guess fun fact, I'm a Michigan fan.
There you go.
That's not no, I'll pass it on. Yeah.
I'm Jeremy P. Lemire with Elder Care Insurance Services. We joined the platform in January 2nd, I think, of 2019. I've been in the Medicare business, sold my first Medicare policy in August of 2001. So my daughter, she's a runner, and I live vicariously through her sports and tell everybody that will listen how amazing she is. And, you know, because I've told you, she last year set the all-time record. So she's the fastest high school female runner in the state of Arkansas history in the mile.
Did you ever get the tattoo?
No. And
so he's told her as soon as she sets the record, I'm going to get a tattoo. Oh, wow. But
yeah, so
with the time, right?
Yeah, so the deal was like ninth grade. I had no idea, obviously, that she was going to progress like she did. And so I just threw out like, hey, if you ever become the fastest runner in the state of Arkansas history, I will get the time tattooed on me. I don't have any tattoos. I'm scared of needles. And so when she broke the record, I told her, hey, I'll go get my tattoo. And she said, you need to wait because I'm going to break it again, and I don't want you to have to put a line through it. So,
dude, that's amazing.
So we got one more year right now. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That is awesome. That's hard to follow.
What was the time for the
4:52:11?
4:50 as a sophomore or junior?
11th grade. Yeah, 4 minutes 52 seconds.
That's amazing. Yeah. You could do that.
You know, I've tried.
I'll get a tattoo. I'll get a tattoo if you can beat that in a mile, bro.
Everybody's getting a tattoo. That's great. So you guys know me, Ryan Kimball, president of Integrity Health. We came on in 2020 as a partner, January, from Agent Pipeline. Again, I tell people if I could do it 2 more times, I would. It's been a great time. The fun fact, so we're in the month of February right now, and there is something special that happens in the month of February. It's Valentine's Day. But the second most famous thing that happens is Baskin-Robbins releases my favorite ice cream in February, and that's called Love Potion 31. And it is vanilla ice cream, dark chocolate hearts with raspberry filling, and it's by far the best ice cream that you'll find. So,
when does it? Is it just the whole month?
The whole month of February. That's their ice cream of the month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Try that out.
So it came out with Karen. We were at a meeting 12 years ago. Everybody was chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and I came out with that, and it landed like it landed here. But it became very memorable, and it actually came out on stage in Dallas in in July. I'd asked Karen what she thought it was. She said chubby hubby from the crowd.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So
Chubby
obviously, I was like, that's more appropriate than Love Person 31. But
It's going to be hard to beat that mile record if you,
No
if you
doubt.
eat too much of that.
no doubt. So I think the record's safe.
That's awesome.
So
My name's Kevin Owens with Kellogg Insurance Marketing. We're based in Salt Lake City, Utah, and came on board with Integrity in April of 21. So coming up on 2 years already. And it's been just a phenomenal experience and growth experience in this industry. So I started in my garage 17 years ago, my detached garage, and about 8 years into it, was invited to go to Utah and work with Ron Kellogg and work on transitioning that organization. And then obviously came on board with Integrity. So fun fact, I'm not sure about fun, but I'll just say I've got something in common with Bryan Adams that nobody else does. I was raised in the funeral industry.
That's right.
And I'm not sure how many Integrity partners
We
have
got
any.
out.
We got out. So, yep, love funeral service, miss funeral service, but wouldn't go back.
Could you embalm somebody right now?
Okay, so
Is that too much?
confession.
Too close?
I actually had a conversation with my dad just a couple weeks ago, and I said, I'm getting the itch. Like,
Don't, why are you looking at me?
measuring you up. So I think I could.
You think you could?
I think I could.
Yeah.
Hasn't been 20 years yet, but that's I'll just leave it at that.
My dad would be proud of you. That's awesome. There's a lot of funny stories I could share about everybody in this group. Whenever we closed his partnership, have I ever told you about that? So I don't think I've ever told anybody this. We're closing his partnership, and we get on the closing call, and kind of a big deal. And that's when we're about to send money. And Kevin, they're like, "Hey, you need to hurry up because Kevin's got something else going on. Like he needs to get this done." And I'm like, "What is more important than like getting this done?" And so we get on, and Kevin's like, "Yeah," he's like screaming almost. He's like, "Yeah, Bryan, let's go ahead and get going. Yeah, I've got somewhere I gotta be." And I'm like, "What do you have going on?"
that is great.
And he goes, "I'm about to get in the plane. I'm in Hawaii. I'm about to go skydiving." I was like, "What? Please don't tell me that. Like, please don't go skydiving." But literally, he partnered with us, and it jumped out of a perfectly good airplane.
That's awesome. That's
True
great.
story.
True story.
I also flipped. Man, we went. I almost had to buy you a
Snowmobile.
new snowmobile.
Yeah.
We went snowmobiling, and dude, have you ever snowmobiled?
I have.
They're powerful. So he puts me on like this brand new big powerful one with my youngest son, and he's like, "Yeah, just don't do that. Don't do this. You'll be fine. Let's go." And I freaking flipped it. Like
Oh, wow.
boom, turning out of his driveway.
I was
Like
gonna
we went like 30 yards, and I flipped it, and I was like, I can't believe he got back on there. But then we had a
You
great
did
time.
good.
You drove that thing so freaking fast. It was amazing to watch.
Took my son on a 60-mile ride Saturday.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great.
All right, I'm Shanna Clark, and I'm with Medicare Advantage Specialist, and we came on the platform in October 2019. I've been in the Medicare space since 1998. I became a grandmother for the second time on Saturday.
Wow.
So,
Congratulations.
yes, I'm a Shan.
Shan.
Yep,
I love it.
yep.
Hey there. Paul Rose. I'm with Western Asset Protection out of Phoenix, Arizona. We've been a partner since November of 2020. It's been just over 2 years, and it's been an awesome ride. Fun fact for me, I'm 42 years old, been in the business for 25 years this March, and I got 3 grandkids, 9, 11, and 17, through marriage.
Hold on. We're not that good in math, but that is awesome. I love kind of the organic nature of what you guys have been doing. Part of the idea was to share best ideas, best practices, and come together and say, what are you guys doing at your organization? In the old days, everybody were competing against each other, but now it's like, hey, this is what we're doing. Let's get together and figure out how to do that even more, which has been such an incredible ride. It's been amazing to watch how far your organizations have come and just a lot of the experience. Maybe just kind of frame up a little bit of what you guys are doing, what y'all been doing here lately.
Well, Bryan, I think over 2 years ago, one of the most exciting things was a lot of my friends in the business that I met at all the FMO meetings. While we weren't sharing all our trade secrets, we became friends. And to see the friends be in the Integrity platform, I knew there'd be a day that we could collaborate and share the game plans. And I feel like 2 years in, that first year, you're getting settled into the relationship. But now we can sit across the table with other Integrity partners, open up the playbook, share the best ideas like we're doing today, and help come up with ways to grow the business. And every business unit I'm finding, and we all are finding, we do similar things, but we do them very differently with different staff, different operational processes. So it's a lot of fun to learn from other partners and share best practices.
I love that.
So I would agree. I just think that we, as an Integrity, we just keep getting better. I mean, we've got more technology, more products, everything. So it's nice when we can come together and then we can walk away with strategies to take back to our organizations and to our marketing team and say, this is what they're doing. And, just sharing ideas and information and just knowing that, that we have somebody that we can lean on. I'm a small organization, so being able to call somebody else that's got a larger staff or maybe that's been doing it a little bit longer and they're willing to help us, no problem, just to be able to share, it's been incredible.
Well, and the idea of that, Shanna, what ultimately happens are people actually get served better, right? Mm-hmm. Because we use those best ideas and ultimately our agents win, customers win, everybody wins in that scenario, which is so powerful. I remember real quick, Ryan, it was in the month of February, your first ever partner meeting that we had. We were rolling out a new product and we had the Health Council for the first time. And I remember it was February 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. It's like right before the world shut down.
It was
Remember
very
that?
close.
It was very close. Yeah. I don't even know if any of us had heard the word COVID at that point, and then the world changed. I remember we were going through the meeting, we had a break, and you came up to me in the hallway and said, you grabbed me and go, if I would have known we could do this, I would have joined 2 years ago.
Sure. Yeah, totally agree. I think it was a time for me to see it all because, when you're not a partner, you're trying to understand what is it, and the chance to get everybody together in one room, talk about best practices. At that time, we had a couple different opportunities in front of us that we were trying to knock out, and it was great. I was a new guy, right? So I was a new guy on the block, and being able to share what we were doing at Agent Pipeline, which was new for a lot of folks, I think was very helpful. And getting a chance to listen to some of the other leaders across the platform was impressive. So it's a great opportunity. I think we talked about today, like how do we run faster? Like how do we run faster in sales? Like how do we optimize our business units to be more efficient? And how do we grow our overall sales volume throughout the SEP and OEP? And it's great to take some of those ideas and then carry them forward. Because if we can carry them forward, we can serve clients better. We can serve all of our agency partners better because we can build better opportunities for them. So it's, like I said, I would do it 2 more times because of the amount of joy that I've gotten just, hanging out with a lot of friends that I've had for years, but then also getting a chance to work together on something. When you're on your own, you're essentially on an island by yourself trying to fight off the pirates. And now we're kind of all back to back doing that. And I think it's a great, it's very meaningful in life to be able to have something like that for yourself.
I think that there's so much truth to that because before you were like, look, I'm not going to tell them anything. Now you're like, hey, we're in this together. Like we've got to all win together. I know for me, one of the things that drives me the most, and maybe it's because I'm a people pleaser or I've got other issues, but one of my concerns is I want to work as hard as I can because I don't want to let you down. I want to let you guys down. It's our families that are all tied up. I'd say that I would presume that most of our net worth is still tied up in integrity, and we're excited about that and are saying, how do we grow that for all of our employees? Being employee owned is such an important role of what we've done. I got the nicest email the other day from one of your teammates. I was like, that I would have never known before this. And she sent me one of the nicest emails. And I've gotten that from a lot of people where you're just like, man, we're making a big impact. Oh, sure. The other part is, for employees, as a small company, or maybe not so small anymore, it allows us to give better benefits. It allows us to give better opportunities, employee ownership, and then our life insurance side. I mean, we've lost several people close to the Integrity family or in the Integrity family, including, as we talked about with Janet recently and others, and just even watching the Integrity family come together in those ways, in good times and bad times, of seeing that's been really fun.
I think as partners of this company, you have an opportunity to not only impact your own business unit, you have an opportunity to impact the whole platform. And I think it's very fulfilling to be in a position to be able to do that. However it is, whether it's working on your own business and growing that business, or if it's helping a partner out who's in a tight spot with a contracting employee that they just lost, and we can come alongside those groups and help them drive better outcomes. It's fulfilling, and I think it's why all of us work as hard as we do, because you get joy out of that.
Yeah, I agree. What, this like some of the products stuff that we've done recently, and some of the new opportunities and sharing those, or even some of the technology that we've been creating. I was talking about this to another group earlier, like some of the ideas that we've all had, none of us could have ever done them on our own as well. So not only are this idea that we're all stronger together and better together, but we also literally are able to do things at scale that we wouldn't have been able to do. Jeremy, what are your thoughts on those?
Well, I think a couple things come to mind. And one you touched on when you go back to 2020 is I remember when COVID hit and thinking about elder care on its own pre-Integrity, where you guys did such an amazing job of putting out a plan and the ability for us to not only be able to make it through COVID, but for our employees to all be paid and for our numbers to continue to increase through the plans that were put together. And John and I talked about that, like without Integrity, without the partnership of everyone pulling together, I don't know what we would have done in a time like that. And fast forward to just recently with some of the rules with CMS, call recording, Medicare Center, like if we had to figure that out on our own and push that out to agents without the direction and technology that we've had through the shared service center, it would have been really tough, if not impossible for us.
Yeah, and that's the other part of being able to think about, okay, we're in this, let's figure it out. One of the things we love is compliance. We want to have the most compliant organization in the world, and we've been investing in that in such scale, and now we're able to use that, which has been so powerful. Tim, on AEP, really, you guys are primarily in Medicare Advantage and Medicare in particular. And you guys, everybody had a great AEP. We had a record-setting AEP. It was remarkable. Integrity has had significant growth, but when you get to scale, it's hard to scale that growth continued. And we had a record-setting AEP, and it's just kind of humbling. You and I were talking weekly about, like, here's what we're seeing, the trends, and it was like, oh my gosh. But what do you think, how's it going with you guys, or what do you think you saw in AEP this year, the annual enrollment period, for those who aren't as familiar with the Medicare side of the business, and how some of the shared services and platform things like Medicare Center and things helped you guys?
Yeah, sure. To be honest with you, with the CMS changes, with the call recording, like Jeremy mentioned, that was a game changer for us. Our agents were prepared. We came out early, did some training, made sure, with what Integrity provided to us with the call recording feature, it was a lot better than what we anticipated it would be. The tools, technology that Integrity came out with, it was a game changer for us, and we saw the results, because of that. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you were able to help more people. Coming back to the end of that. So as you think about, Karen, you're part of a family business. You love getting called on. I saw your face. You guys, your family started the business a long time ago. Your daughter Sandy's in the business. Your daughter-in-law Tiffany. Sandy's actually here. I don't know why she's not up here with us. But we love partnering with family businesses, and then I love getting messages from your husband, Maury, and just like being able to, just everybody coming together. What has Integrity meant for your family and for you personally on that?
Wow, that's a great question. So when I partnered, that was towards the beginning of the partnerships. And
You were early stages.
I don't even know how, like sometimes when I'm sitting in this room or I'm like, wow, I don't even, I thank you all the time. And I don't know, it's a big blessing, but for what I've been able to do with my family, our kids, my employees, I mean, it was the best decision I ever made. And I'm not going to get emotional on that. But yeah, and the friendships. And for me, we are a smaller agency. And for everybody that has helped me, anytime something has come up, I can just call anyone. And how it's affected my family, I mean, I just in bigger ways than I can even say. But now all of you are my family. And it's pretty special.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Kevin, I know whenever we started, you mentioned really just the opportunity to partner together and working with all these different organizations. First of all, Ron Kellogg was one of the greatest men in the world. And I sincerely mean this. He would be so proud of what you've done and the business that you've continued on. And I know we had a lot of partners out at your event recently, and people were just so moved by all the different things that you guys are doing. And so, first of all, I just want you to know how proud I know he would be of how you've expanded his legacy and y'all's legacy together. Everybody does a lot of the same things, like you said, Paul, but maybe a little bit different. You have kind of a bit of a different business model, and it's just a remarkable business that you guys have. But what does it mean for you to be able to come together and look at other ideas with other people?
It's an absolute game changer. I appreciate you mentioning Ron. He's a mentor, a friend. We reference him all the time in our events and our meetings. We quote him. And
you have an award named after him?
We have the Good Job Ron Award for our Employee of the Month, and there's a hilarious story behind that. So the award is a chocolate cake, a piece of chocolate cake. It's not real, but it looks good enough to eat. And there's a story behind Ron and chocolate cake and doing a good job. Ron and I were partners at Kellogg as we were going through the transition process. And coming on board with Integrity, I feel like I was able to continue that partnership while continuing to build and solidify the legacy that he left.
Yeah.
To be able to come to meetings like this one we're at today, sharing ideas and how we can be better, that's why I joined Integrity.
Yeah.
We are, it's cliche, it's been said, but we are better together. And I just hope to continue to bring things to the table that can benefit others, because I'm definitely benefiting from the things I'm hearing while I'm at the table.
Yeah, well, and others are benefiting from you as well. It is remarkable what we're building. I think I say this all the time. People are starting to give me a hard time about it. Anybody know what I say?
We're just getting started?
Because we are just getting started. So Tom Sheath told me the other day, he goes, I'm going to get a T-shirt made that says I'm just getting started. And I was like, hey, don't be a smartass. Like, believe we're truly just getting started. He was like, I'm serious. I do too. But like with the technology, with all the great partners, with all the pieces of the puzzle that we now have, with the life insurance side, the annuity side, the wealth management side, Medicare, ACA, long-term care, every piece of the puzzle that we've got as we start exploring how do you start working with this. I was talking to a group the other day, and they were talking about, it's a life group, and they're talking about their Medicare business. And I'm like, who are you working with? And they're like, we're working with Jeremy Pielmeyer at Elder Care. And I go, how did you meet Jeremy?
Yeah.
I was like, how in the world? And they're like, we met in the hallway at the office one day. We were both there for different meetings. And he said, I want to get in Medicare. Can you help me? And all of a sudden, you're helping them with that. It's like, it's pretty amazing seeing all of those things come together. And I truly think we're just getting started.
I would agree. I think even from our meeting today, we are uncovering things that we can do a lot better, a lot faster, and it's going to help every one of our employees at our individual business units.
Yeah, which ultimately comes back to the more we can be efficient to help our agents succeed.
Yeah, for sure.
If we can help our agents succeed, then they can serve more people. And that has just been, Medicare Center is like, we have data to support this now. There was anecdotal evidence I remember the three of us talking in those early days in the heat of COVID, talking about how we created Medicare Center. You remember being on those phone calls And I mean, this one we were like trying to figure out, like, we're still wiping down bags because he thought we could get it touching it. But I remember us talking about, like, what can we create? What's a platform? Which none of us could have done that on our own. And now with being able to learn from the experience of that and how many people are able to use it and how much more efficient their business is. And you can see when they use that technology, they serve more people and they serve them better with the switchers analysis and everything else that we've got. I think that as we start really kind of, continuing to look around, there's so many new opportunities that we are just getting started.
No, I would agree. I love it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining today's Inspire podcast. We do a couple of things that we don't get to do when it's on video. The pre-call used to be my favorite.
Yeah.
Because then you'd be able to talk and things. I'm going to put you on the spot, Jeremy, because one of my favorite stories in the world came from you, and I don't know if everybody here knows it. So would you share the story of the first time you and your wife stayed in a nice hotel?
Oh. It's going to make me
Have y'all heard this?
sound super redneck. So my wife and I will be married 20 years this year. I was born in California and moved to Arkansas when I was about 13. And so when we were about 18 or 19, one of the things that we wanted to do was go stay in the fancy hotel. And so we went to California. That's where I have some family that lives. Yeah. And we got my dad's shop truck that was on loan, and it
looked like a shop truck.
Yeah. I was trying to put in words how it was going to look, but thanks.
You got the business.
So missing a hubcap, all that stuff. So we book a hotel at one of these, like the Beverly Hills Hotel, somewhere super nice, and we're putting it on a credit card, and we're like 18 or 19, so it really doesn't matter how much it costs because we never plan to pay the credit card bill anyways. So when we pull up, like, we don't have it. It's just like a movie. You go to open the door and the guy gets you. He's like, "You're in the wrong spot." And I'm like, no, I am not in the wrong spot. We're staying here tonight. So he valet parks what has to be the worst car he's ever valet parked. So we go into the West Beverly Hotel or whatever it was, and it was amazing. Like, I had no idea how nice it would be. So we get in the room. It's overlooking the street there, and there's all this food, like wine and beer, gummy bears, like anything you could think of.
Peanut M&Ms.
Oh my gosh. And me and my wife were like, rich people have it, so this is amazing. And so we sat on the couch or on the bed that night, and we ate every single thing that was in the room. We opened, and we didn't eat it all. Like, you open the beer, you have a drink, and you're like, because all this stuff's in the room, so you want to use it. So we went to check out, and the person checking me out asked if I had my honor bar ticket. And I guess that was back, when you had to write them down. And so I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." And they said, "Well, what did you eat in the room?" And we said everything. Yeah. So they kind of looked at us like we're from Arkansas. So we did. We legit had every single thing in the room. We didn't eat all of it. They hit you with that bill at the end, which was like you go from the most amazing trip ever.
You're like,
to
the rich people have it all. They get food and wine and beer in their room
to like, oh my gosh, you have to pay for all this stuff. So there are often times, Brian, where I end up in a hotel and I like take a picture of it, because now it's all censored, So I shoot it over to Prince, and I'm like, I'm not touching this.
Don't touch it
Ever.
So every time I stay in a hotel room, I think of you. I look at the bar thing if they've got it.
Yeah.
A lot of hotel rooms I stay in don't have it, but if they have it, I look at it and I think of you every single time. Maybe I should start sending you a picture of it.
Yeah, I bet until I was like 32, I was paying that credit card bill and still thinking of it as well. So, yeah.
12 years later.
Yeah.
12 years later, you could have bought that shop truck.
No doubt.
Oh, wow. Well, hey, we're just honored to have everybody here today on this podcast. Thank y'all for all your hard work. I want to tell you, I work really hard because I don't want to let any of y'all down, and I want to make you proud. And I know you all feel the same way. And as Andy said on that podcast, if we can do just a little bit more or do it a little bit smarter, there's no telling what we can accomplish. And I really think we are just getting started. Again, thanks for everybody joining us today. Let's go out and look for ways to do just a little bit more, how we can bring everything together and show that we're just getting started, because the best is yet to come here in Integrity. God bless you all and have a great day.